What's going on, everybody? Jolt here from the Token Minorities, and I am here with a pretty important video for you guys today, just to basically explain how the minors coach selection process worked for this upcoming season of the NPL Minors. But joining me are our two minors commissioners. Yes, we now have two. Joining Trev, who is also in call with me today, is David, also known as Magic, who will be also holding the reins with Trev. So go ahead and introduce yourselves, guys, and then we'll get going into this.
Hello, friends. I'm David.
And hello, I am Trev.
So what we're going to be doing is we're going to just be talking through basically how the minors coaches were selected. We had, I think, well over 50 applicants for this season of the NPL Minors, and we had to try to narrow those down to the 5 spots that we had available? Or was it 6? It was 6 spots that we had available, which is not easy considering how strong this pool of applicants really was this time around. So just to talk a little bit about how we approached this. So essentially how we did this is that the commissioners got together, we looked through all the applications, and we narrowed the field down to 20. Okay, and those 20 people were selected based upon a combination of the quality of their application as well as the quality of the video that they submitted. The application included a video question, and we took that result or that submission into account quite heavily, as well as relative skill as a battler, and etc. So we took all those into account, and we shrunk the list down to 20 people from there. And after that, it went through a process where the commissioners, as well as the leadership of the NPL, as well as the NPL Minors coaches, the current NPL Minors coaches, and the current NPL Majors coaches, went through a series of voting in order to reduce that list from 20 down to the 6 that ended up making it into the NPL. So that's generally how this worked. It's not just an arbitrary selection. It went through a large voting process. It took several days to go through all this. But to get more into the specifics as to why certain people advanced when maybe you didn't, that might be why you're watching this video. You wanted to see maybe why your application didn't make it all the way into the top 6. We're going to try to provide those answers for you from the viewpoints of our commissioners and admins of the league here. So I'm going to kick it over to Trev, who is going to explain to you essentially what he was looking for in the application answers that you submitted.
All right. So obviously, the first two, or not two, but the first few application questions were all about, personal stuff like your channel name, channel link, Twitter, all that good stuff. And then a couple questions down, we get to some of your, guys's opinions on like what makes you interested in draft format, and then like what's your experience. So in terms of what makes you interested in draft format, I was kind of looking at more of a, you're not just doing league just for the sake of doing league. You want to do it to have fun, make friends. That's always answers I'm looking for, because we do want to add some friendly people here to the NPL. We don't want to add recluses who just, join a league, play their games, upload their games, and then have no chat interaction. So I wanted to make sure that people, were able to interact with others. Experience, obviously you could just give your record. You could, just go through each league you did. However, if you gave, like, for example, your total record, all the leagues you've been in, even like singular seasons, going above and beyond is always good. Draft league experience, obviously you could have put your replays or videos, and that could have been it. But if you gave a little description, again, going above and beyond was what shined through in my eyes. Obviously there was the major accomplishments in the standard smoke gun tiers, not huge there, but if you did have something there, it did give you a boost. Obviously you needed to upload the YouTube, so if you said no, then you were pretty much automatically out, which thankfully I don't think we had anybody say no.
Correct.
Which, that would have been funny, but also, unfortunately rejected. Then we had the 5 to 10 minute video, which obviously some people went a little over, but that was fine, because mainly we just wanted to check out stuff like mic quality, like how much effort you're going to put into the video, editing wise, graphics wise. And then we could also base your analysis off what you thought was the best Pokemon to get what your general knowledge of the format is. And then finally we had a few more personal questions like what are you interested outside of Pokemon? Again, trying to, get that camaraderie between coaches. Then we had what makes you stand out from the other applicants. Again, we want unique people. We don't just want to add 6 of the same person. We want to try to get people who think that they are unique from any other applicant. And, you know, it didn't really matter what the reason was you thought, but as long as it was something, then that was good in my eyes. And then finally, any additional comments? Obviously, that one was the only truly optional question out of the entire application. However, if you put something like, you know, thanks to the NPL, or something, you know, just anything, that was bonus points in my eyes as well. So those who went above and beyond on the applications definitely got a lot of bonus points in my eyes.
Yeah, and from my point of view, again, very similarly, looking at the answers to those questions, anyone who very clearly put in an extra amount of effort in trying to answer those questions, that really that's something I like to see, because that shows me that you are very interested in the NPL. The NPL is something that you'd be very invested in, because you're willing to spend that time on the application, just during the application process, in a hope to get into the league. And that tells me that when you're in the league, you'll be able to spend that same amount of time when you're preparing for your games and trying to battle to the best of your ability as well, especially also with your content creation. So yeah, David, do you have anything you want to add on that?
No, I think you guys covered everything.
Okay.
As far as application goes.
Yeah, so the next major category that we looked at was the quality of the battle submissions that were on the application specifically, and David is going to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so on the application, we asked for a best and worst replay of just general examples of your play, so then we could get a range of your play style. And we weren't really looking for any sort of like 6-0 sweeps or majorly hacksy games, you know, things that would kind of that would hide any sort of poor play or whatever. Like, games that didn't teach us anything. Of course, people got bonus points if they explained their matches in the replays. Some people did, some people didn't. It's okay. Some people even put videos, and that was very helpful for us trying to figure out sort of battle skill and things like that. But ultimately, we looked through all the replays, and our general gauge was, do we feel like they can compete or succeed in the minors? And we had a lot of people that were yes, but again, we had to narrow it down to 20, so we also had all the other qualities to base it on. Yeah, I don't know, the videos are pretty straightforward. The battles, at least.
Right, yeah. The main thing, like David was saying, that we were looking at was, do we think you can hold your own in the minors? And in some cases, David didn't mention this, but this is just the truth, that in some cases that the answer was no. And when that is the case, that doesn't mean like no, period. It means no, but if you continue to develop as a battler, you still have that opportunity in the future. You just need to prove that to us through the submissions that you give us and through the uploads on your channel, that you have improved as a battler, so that we are convinced that you can hold your own in the minors. So potentially, if you are rejected, that could have been one of the leading reasons, just that we felt you needed to have more time to develop your skills in Pokemon, and that's definitely something that we feel can be done through time. So the other component that I wanted to talk about a little bit here, that Trev briefly mentioned, but I just wanted to talk a little bit more about it specifically, that was the videos that were submitted as a part of the application. So in that video, I believe the question was asked, what do you think is the best Pokemon in draft format right now? I believe was the question, and more often than not, the answers were either Celesteela, Landoti, Mega Lopunny, or what was the other leading one?
Kieran Black.
Thank you, Kieran Black. Yeah. It seemed like at least 75% of the applications showed those, and that's fine, because those are all very, very good mons in the format. But the main thing that I was looking at, there were two main things that I was looking at in those responses. One was that you were articulating your reasoning why you felt that Pokemon was the best in the format. And that's not just going through the move pool and telling me that this Pokemon gets a lot of good moves, therefore it's a good Pokemon. I know that. Okay, what we all wanted to hear was why that Pokemon is good for a draft, and that what roles can it serve, what good teammates could it have, stuff like that. Some stuff that's a little bit outside the box, not just telling us what we can see on Pokemon Showdown. Okay, so that actually was a pitfall for a lot of people when we were looking through the application videos, and that we felt that the videos were, in a sense, kind of shallow, and they could have been a lot better, a lot more fulfilling videos if the explanation was more along the lines of more broad, basically, than just looking through the movesets of the Pokemon. So just a little bit of advice for future questions. If we happen to open another application in the future and you see that question again, that'll help you be able to answer it a little bit better towards what we are looking for that particular question. But also, content aside, looking at the just how the video looks and sounds was also a pretty big factor. If someone had a pretty poor mic quality, that sometimes was held against them. Not really too much, because mic quality we feel is something that can be improved by just getting a new mic, for example, or maybe like turning up the volume on your mic, turning down the volume on your mic. There are ways to fix that, so that wasn't really a leading factor by any means. But probably the biggest factor that should be discussed, at least from my personal end, was, did the video look good? Okay, there were some people that clearly put in a lot more effort on their videos than others. And when that is evident to the people who are looking at the applications, that's going to look very good for you if your video looks really good as well. So the people who did clearly put in a lot of effort on their videos, they were pretty much all advanced to the round of 20 people remaining, because that was such a large factor for me personally. If I am able to tell that they are, one, a solid battler, and two, able to produce quality content and went through the effort of making a quality video as well, then it was pretty easy for me to say, hey, I want this person in the top 20 so we can continue discussing them further. So that's basically what I was looking for in the videos. Again, just to reiterate and summarize, high quality, show that you're putting an effort into the video and not just slopping it together in 5 minutes, and as well as giving a more broad and thorough analysis of the Pokemon as opposed to just telling us what moves they can learn. So do you guys think I covered everything on that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay. Well, that about wraps this up then. If you do have any questions further as to how we looked at the applications, do feel free to contact me. I believe you're also welcome to contact David or Trev, but I don't really want to speak for them. So are they okay to contact you, or should they just contact me?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Contact me whenever they want.
I can guarantee you I'll get you an answer within a day.
Nice.
Yeah, so be sure to add Trev.
But yeah, feel free to contact us. We'd be happy to answer any questions you might have and try to help you learn how to be a stronger applicant in the future if you didn't make it. And if you didn't make it this time, again, like we've said, the application pool was so strong this time around. It was very, very hard to decide our top 6. So there's always hope for the future, so don't lose hope on that. And we hope you'll still, of course, be fans of the NPL. So I think we are done here. Any final words from our minors commissioners?
No.
Nah, I think you covered anything.
Yeah.
All right. Well, have a good one, guys. I guess you guys want to tell them the start time of the NPL minors? You might want to throw that out there. Do you guys know? Or am I putting you on the spot?
You're putting us on the spot here.
Late January or early February should be around the estimated time for when games should be starting.
Okay, and majors will start shortly after that, so you guys can be looking forward to that as well. But I guess we are done, so I will see you guys next time. Peace.
Peace.
Bye.